Today I'm sharing real tips from me as a working fashion designer to make your life easier. Hi everyone and welcome back to Doroty's Diary. So whether you are designing your first collection or you are already in the industry, these are lessons I've learned over the years, sometimes the hard way, and I promise you they'll save you time, stress, and money. So let's get started. So the first tip that I'll say is research before designing. Look, I get it. Sometimes inspiration just hits you and you want to sketch straight away, but don't settle for the first idea that pops into your head. Start with research, explore references, trends, customer needs, and your surroundings. That extra hour of inspiration can take a nice design to something unforgettable. So research sharpens your creativity and it doesn't restrict it. This one is technical, but it's important. Use croquis templates when sketching. Why? Because proportion matters. Keeping armholes, neckline, hemlines consistent across your design not only makes your sketch look professional, it also makes them clearer for pattern makers, sample rooms, and clients. So trust me, your whole workflow becomes smoother. Think about construction while you design. One of the worst feelings is when you're designing something beautiful, only to find out later it can actually be made. So that's why you should always think ahead. Think about the fabrics, stitching, and construction techniques while you're still sketching. I once designed a blouse with the most beautiful draped silhouette, only to realize that the fabric couldn't hold the shape. So we kind of had to redo the whole thing. It cost extra samples, it delayed the whole collection. So designing smart is really important, not just pretty. Update your portfolio regularly. We all know how it is. Nobody wants to do it. It's one of those things that is really hard to keep track of because it doesn't seem like a priority at the time until it is a priority. So I would say definitely just every time we finalized a project or anything, just take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, just adding that extra 2 pages into your portfolio is going to save you so much more time down the line. So it's definitely worth the extra 10-15 minutes on that single project instead of having to do everything, like spend hours and hours updating 6 months or years of work because I didn't do it straight away. So trust me, you'll thank yourself later. Measure from your existing samples when you can. You don't need to guess. Use existing garments or samples as references when developing similar silhouettes. It doesn't mean you're copying, it means you're designing smarter. Start with a shape or cut that already works and build from there. It helps avoiding major fitting issues. It reduces time spent on revisions and fittings, so it's really clever to do so. Don't be shy. Always design with the end use in mind. Is your piece for comfort, occasion wear, layering? Designing without thinking about how, where, and why it will be worn often leads to beautiful designs that nobody buys. So ask yourself, would someone actually wear this and where? That one question changes everything. Keep a visual library. I keep a folder of cuts, fabrics, color combination, vintage pieces, editorial looks, anything that inspires me. So when I hit a creative block, I always go back to that folder. It's like a visual mood board on standby. So try building your own creative archive. You'll thank yourself later. Stay organized with tech packs and files. Your ideas needs to translate clearly to others, especially manufacturers and production teams. So keep your tech packs, references, fabric swatches, and measurements organized. The smoother your back end, the more seamless your front end looks. So this is the unseen part of great design. Communicate and don't pretend to know everything. We all know how it is. Everybody's a little bit shy. Nobody likes to admit that they're wrong on something. But fashion is a team sport. If you are unsure about construction, fabric, or fit, just ask. Speak to your team, speak to the people around you or people that you know that knows what it is that you're unsure about. Talk to your product developer, your pattern cutter, your sample maker. Arrogance delays projects. Collaboration makes them much stronger. Step back before you finalize any design. One of my biggest lessons, don't get caught up in the trend that you forget who you're designing for. Well, I once pushed for this corset collection. It was this huge corset hype happening in the industry. So the designs were really beautiful, but at the end of the day, nothing sold. Nothing, because it didn't fit the brand's DNA, that kind of like, it was a bit trying too hard for that effortless kind of customer that we're working with. And it didn't work for the brand's DNA, even though everybody was doing it. So really take a step back and think about what it is the designer in, what that inspiration is coming from. Don't only lock yourself into an idea without looking at it from all the other aspects. It's gonna really help you to design something that's both beautiful, versatile, it works, and it fits the brand's DNA, and it works for the customer as well. Designing is a craft. It's all about balancing creativity, strategy, and practicality. So let me know in the comments which tips stood out for you, and share any of your hard-earned design lessons. I would love to hear more, and let's learn from each other, of course. And as always, dream, inspire, design.